Hello yogis, I'm Brianna and welcome to your Happy Hamstrings class. We're going to have a bit of fun today, so make sure you have a strap handy, or you can roll up a towel and any other piece of fabric that's going to extend your arms a little bit. And then 2 blocks are going to be super helpful, especially if you do have a little bit of tightness through the backs of the legs. Once you've got all your props gathered or whatever you want to use today, we're going to meet lying down on our back. And as you arrive lying on your back, begin to imagine that your spine is leaving an imprint in the floor beneath you. So getting really familiar with the shape of the spine and the way that the head, the shoulders, and the back line of the body and the pelvis and the backs of the legs and the heel bones come in contact with the floor. And then beginning to notice the breath and the way the cool air filters into the tip of the nose and travels down and down to the very pit of the belly. And then as you exhale, it travels out of the lungs and back out the back of the throat and out through the tip of the nose. And so as you inhale, there's this beautiful expansion across the back body, across the ribs. Maybe the belly starts to inflate. And then as you exhale, the air leaves the body. And then on your next deep breath in, draw the breath down and down into the belly, into the diaphragm. And then open the mouth, let out a big, juicy and audible sigh. And again, because it feels so good, deep breath in. Open the mouth, parting the lips to sigh. And then this time a little quieter, just for yourself. Full breath in and out. Good, and pursing the lips closed, starting to breathe in and out through the nose for Ujjayi breath. And there might even be a slight constriction in the back of the throat, almost like you're fogging a mirror, or like the ocean waves hissing in the background. And if at any time this breath doesn't really suit you or feel good, you have the absolute authority to leave it. And then on your very next inhale, flex the feet really strongly, really tugging the thigh bones up in towards the hips. And then start to hug the right knee in towards the chest. And you can point the toes down of the right foot. And then start to draw some circles on the roof with your knee. Circling one direction. Exploring what it's like to make big circles and little circles. And then changing the circles the other way. Good, and then taking a nice deep breath in, start to flex out through the right toes. You're going to find your strap, and you're going to place the strap over the ball of the right foot. So not in the inner arch, right up towards the ball, right in the center of the strap. And then you're going to grab the strap as high as you can with a straight arm, and then let the right shoulder blade pull back down towards the mat. And so the foot is really energetically flexed. There's this beautiful length through the back line of the leg. And if you need to, you can have a soft bend through the knee as well. Place the left hand onto your hip bone so you can really feel both sides of the pelvis level. Keep active through the left sole of foot, exactly as if you were standing on the floor, but it's now the side of the room. Nice work. And take a few deep breaths here. Really sending the breath into the belly of the hamstring, so that's that back fleshy part of your leg. Maybe with each exhale you engage and stretch the back of your heel a little higher to the sky. And if you find the elbows bending, you'll just grab a little higher on your strap. Good, letting each breath invite a little more space into your body. Knowing we have all the time that we need to lengthen and stretch. We don't have to do it all straight away. And then on your next inhale breath, prepare the body to exhale. Curl yourself up, bring the nose up. You'll bend the elbow, take the leg a little closer towards your face. Lift the shoulders off the floor. And then when you release, let the head rest back down. Inhale. As you exhale, curl, bend the elbow, draw your nose up towards the knee. And then slowly come back down. And then one more time, exhale, scooping belly, ribs connect towards hips as you lift up, look towards your left big toe. And then slowly release back down. And take a full inhale here. This time as you exhale, the right toes are gonna come out towards the side, out towards the right. And then keep pressing that left hip into the floor. So both sides of the waist stay connected. Sometimes we let the leg kind of collapse to the side and we lift the left hip bone. I want you to keep grounding that into the floor. The right arm is still long and the right upper arm bone is hugging in towards your shoulder socket. Keep pressing the back of the head down, opening up to the inner part of the groin. Full breath in. Steady breath out. And again, deep breath in and out. Good. Noticing if you can take that leg a little bit higher. Nice. Take another deep round of breath. As you exhale, connect the belly, gather it towards the spine, bring your right foot back as if you were stamping on the sky. And then keep the right leg lifted. Take the left hand to grab onto the strap, both straps in each hand. The right hand comes out to a T. Again, flex strongly through the back leg, take a full breath here. And then start to take the toes of the right leg in line with the left shoulder. So a gentle line across the body. Anchoring the right hip into the floor. You might feel a delicious stretch from the ankle bone all the way to the hip. Good, don't forget about that left foot. Keep flexing the toes towards the face. Good, and hug that right thigh bone into the hip socket. And take another deep breath here. This time as you exhale, let the leg come all the way over to the left-hand side. If you're like me, there might be a wall in the way. If not, go all the way down and come into a lying twist. Go. We want to work to keep that right shoulder planted on the ground, tucking the chin towards the chest, and the eye gaze falls over towards the right. And taking a full round of breath here. Stay for the exhale. Inhale. And then exhale, come all the way back through center. You're gonna take the strap off the ball of the right foot and gently, with love, lower the right foot all the way towards the floor. And then have a moment to digest. Maybe the right foot feels a little longer away from the body than the left. And just noticing any sensation, any buzzing through the back of the body. And then when you're ready, flexing both feet strongly towards your hips, hug your left knee into the chest and point the toes. Again, being really curious here, be playful as you draw circles on the roof, going little or big, just investigating what's there in your hip socket today. And if you've gone one direction, go the other way. Maybe even figure 8 shapes might feel fun. Nice work. And then when you're ready, flex that left foot all the way up to the sky. Now, it doesn't matter if the back of your knee is not straight. You can have a soft back of leg. And then we're going to place the strap over the ball of our foot. And so this is going to help us to really press the center of the heel up towards the sky. And you're going to grab a hold as high as you can. Maybe it's near your foot, maybe it's a little lower. As you plug the left upper arm bone, the left shoulder tip, back towards the floor. You can even think about the left hip crease reaching forward as the right toes pull back. Right hand onto your hip bone, inhale. And exhale. Good. Really sending your awareness to the back of the leg. Take a full inhale here. As you exhale, scoop the belly to the spine, ribs towards hips, lifting nose towards knee. You can stretch the right arm away, and then inhale, lower down. And 2 more just like that. Exhale, curl forward, look forward, and then gently lower down. Last time, exhale, let's hold it there. Keep looking, keep stretching. Back of the neck is long. And then as you exhale from the base of the spine, lower down. Good, take a full breath here. And then as you exhale, pressing the right hip into the mat, let the left toes start to trace their way out in line with your hip to the side. Good, so opening up that inner groin. Good, and just keeping that right foot directly in line with the right hip bone. Flexing the toes towards your face, nice straight arm. And you've got 3 more beautiful deep breaths here. Really let them sweep through the whole body. And keep engaging the right toes towards the shin. 1 more deep breath. And then on your next inhale, come all the way up through center. You're going to swap your hands over, so grab the strap in your right hand, release the left arm out to a T, and then trace the toes over towards the right shoulder. So just slightly across the body, and then a little tug towards the face. Oh, that feels good. Take a full breath here. If that's enough for you, please stay here. For those who want a little more, you're going to twist all the way, taking the toes towards the floor, keeping the left shoulder planted down, and the chin comes to the chest as we eye gaze over towards the left hand. And keep connecting the whole left leg into your hips. Good, take a full breath in, expanding into the sides of the ribs. And then exhale, belly gathers in. We take the leg back up towards the sky. We're releasing the strap off our leg to lower it all the way back to the floor. A full breath to digest here. Inhale. And slowly release, exhale. Nice. And then take your knees towards your chest. Give yourself a tight squeeze, a little hug. You can rock side to side. Maybe starting to rock up and down along the spine. A little vertebral massage, which can feel pretty good. Now think of yourself as a wheel, so you're nice and circle, so you can round and rock and roll up and down the spine. Getting enough momentum to come all the way up to a seat. So the spine is long, really grounding through those sits bones, connecting the backs of your hands onto your hamstrings. That the inner elbows hug back, the shoulder blades scoop the front of the heart forward, and then we lift the toes up towards our tabletop. Now you want to flare those toes, hug them towards the midline, press stud the knees towards each other, and this might be where you stay. For a little bit more, hover the arms forward. Try to reach the middle of the finger all the way towards your feet. Again, option to stay here, or really go for it. Feel into the length of your hamstrings as you stretch all the way up to the sky for Navasana, our boat pose. Take a full breath here. And then as you exhale, slowly toes drip down, hands onto the shins, and then inhale, lift up through the front line of the body. Really trying to crack the front of your heart up towards the sky. And then as you exhale, scoop the belly and round. Good, and again, inhale, lift all the way up. We're gonna flip over onto hands and knees and grab a hold of your block. Now this is where things start to get fun. I want you to bite the calf and the hamstring towards each other to squeeze the block. Good. Our shoulders are stacking on top of the wrists. We're pressing the arm bones down. Gather the belly in. Take an inhale. Start to lift the left leg up in line with your hip. Squeeze into the block. Feel the hamstring activate. And then as you exhale, you're going to gently tap the left knee back down. And then again, inhale, press it up all the way to the sky. Good. Exhale, tap it down. One more just like that. Inhale, lift it all the way up. Keep pressing the arm bones, keeping the chest in line with the thumbs, and then hug the inner thighs towards midline. Little pulses here through that left leg. So lift it up, exhale, press and press and press, really bringing that hamstring to life if it wasn't already. For 3, for 2, and 1. Bite a little bit harder onto the block. Hug the knee towards your chest, nose towards your knee, and you're gonna step that foot, take the block away, and reach up into Untitled, our lunge. So we want the front knee on top of the ankle. We're stretching up out of the fingertips, pressing down in towards the shin, and get really vertical here. Good. Lengthening the tailbone towards the back of the knee, and then plugging the left hip bone back in space. Take a nice full breath here. And stay for the exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Place both hands to the floor. Tuck your back toe up. Lift the knees. Step back to your high plank. Take a full deep breath here. And then as you exhale, shift your hips back, downward facing dog. And so pressing into the pads of the fingers, reaching the hip creases away. Take a full breath. Rise onto your tippy toes, ripple forward high plank, stacking armpits on top of wrists, and then gently kiss both knees to the floor. Round 2, here we go, taking the block behind the right hamstring this time. So there's this beautiful biting sensation as we switch on and bring it back to life. We take an inhale, float, right knee up towards our hip. Ooh, and then exhale, tap it back down. This one has a lot more sensation. Lift it up as you inhale. Exhale, slowly tap it down. It's all about the control, finding strength to pair with flexibility. So we have great mobility. Good, lift it all the way up. holding it there. We've got 10 tiny pulses. Here we go. Inner thighs in, pulsing up for 10. Good, keep pressing the floor away. Beautiful focus down just ahead of the hands for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Squeeze the heel towards your bottom. Gather the belly in, nose towards knee, knee towards nose, and stepping the right foot through all the way between the hands. Connect down through the shin. Inhale, reaching up into our lunge. And so we're finding this energy down through the right heel here. A nice 90-degree angle. And this energetic tug of our right heel back towards our left knee. So rather than sinking into our flexibility, we're really harnessing into the strength of our hamstring, of our belly. Good, softening those front ribs in, so they're like knitting to the back body. Take a nice deep breath. As you exhale, circle the hands, frame the foot, tucking the back toes under, lift and engage that back knee towards the sky, scoop the right heel back, downward facing dog. 2 breaths here, inhale. And exhale. 1 more deep breath. Nice work. Inhale to rise onto your tippy toes. As slowly as you can, starting to meander your way all the way to the top of the mat. And so really allow yourself to feel the texture of the mat beneath your feet. Bending your knees at any point that feels good so we can prioritize our spine. And let the head drip heavy. And the crown of the head releasing towards the earth. And all your thoughts, your to-do lists, anything that doesn't serve this practice right now, starts to drip from crown of head and disperses its way into the mat. And this time is dedicated just to you. And so let yourself be fully aware in this moment. And can you shift your weight any more into the tips of the toes? Anchor down in through the heels, soften the knees, and gently peel your way all the way up to stand. And so let the spine really unfurl like a beautiful fern unraveling for the very first time. And when you arrive, head stacks on top of shoulders, on top of hips. We spin the palms forward and pressing into the feet. Take an inhale. Open the mouth, exhale, sigh. If you're not already at your top of the mat, meet me there. Sun Salutation A. Inhale, press into the feet, reach up through the arms, open the front of the hips. As you exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Coming onto the fingertips, inhale, right leg steps back, long lunge, center of the chest to the front of the mat. And then as you exhale, plant the hands, hamstring contracts, heel towards tailbone, downward facing dog. Your inhale breath ripples you like the ocean wave to the top of your mat. Connecting your knees, kiss them down at the same time. Inhale like a cow pose, drop the belly, lift the heart. And then exhale, chin and chest meet the floor as you slide the elbows past your ribs. Point the toes back in space. Like an inchworm, slide onto your belly. Baby cobra, inner elbows hug in, and you tug the front of your heart space forward. And then as you exhale, gently lower down. Toes tuck under, hips to heels, child's pose, Malasana. And then reach those hip bones all the way up to the sky. Take an inhale, rise to your toes. Bend your knees, look forward. Walk or step to the top of the mat. Your next inhale lifts you up halfway. Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, pull weight forward. Press into feet, root to rise, sweep the arms overhead. Exhale, thumbs to the center of your heart. Left side, press into the feet. Inhale, sweep arms up. Exhale, pour your weight all the way forward, like you're draping over your legs. Inhale, chest forward, left foot steps back, long lunge. And then as you exhale, hands connect down, press arm bones, scoop back, downward facing dog. As you inhale, rise to toes, firm the quads, ripple from belly to chest, to heart, to throat. And dropping the knees down, inhale, drop the belly, lift heart forward. And then exhale, lower all the way down, slide the elbows past the ribs. Point your toes, press into the shins, put the pubic bone down. Keep the pubic bone pressing, inhale, lift up through the heart. Exhale, hands connect, pressing back, child's pose, toes tuck under. And then from the creases of your hip, lift back up. Take a full breath here. Stay for the exhale. Inhale, rise onto your tippy toes. Bend your knees in line with your ankles, and then move your ribs back towards your thighs. So we're really finding length through the armpits here. Now here comes that good hamstring flexibility we worked on. Start to straighten up your legs from here. Lift the hips high. Find space as you take ribs towards back body. Kiss both heels towards the floor. Rise onto your tippy toes, bend your knees, look forward, walk or step to the top of the mat. Find your halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold. Press into the feet, root to rise, reach and sweep those arms above your head. Exhale, thumbs come to heart. Going a little faster, inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, right leg back. Exhale, left leg back, downward dog. Inhale to high plank. This time for a little challenge, keep your knees lifted, chaturanga. Shift the shoulder heads forward. Keep the chest moving forward, heels pressing back. Lower down on the exhale. Inhale, baby cobra, or if it's there for you, upward facing dog. And then exhale, chin to chest, downward facing dog. When you arrive, please bring the big toes to touch. Connect through the hands on your next inhale, sweep. Right leg up in line with your hip for three-legged dog. Flex your toes towards your shin, hug the inner thighs towards the midline, and keep your shoulders and hips facing down. On your next inhale, climb the right leg a little higher, and then bend the heel towards your bottom, contract the hamstring. Pointing through the feet, inhale, rise to the toes. And then as you exhale, tiger curl, nose to knee, shoulders to wrist. Really try to squeeze the tailbone with your heel. And then inhale, fill up with air. Exhale, curl yourself forward. The heel comes towards the bottom. Try to get that shin bone parallel to the floor. And then fill up with air. Inhale. Good. This time, exhale, hover it all the way forward. Step quietly between the hands. Nice. Deliver the back knee to the floor. Inhale, reach up through fingers. Good. Taking an exhale, find your blocks. And we're going to take them either side of our hips for half Hanuman. So in half Hanuman, start to straighten out the front leg. Flex your toes towards your face and keep your tailbone in line with your knee. Pressing into the blocks, straighten out your arms and notice how long you can get through your side waist. And then like you do in chaturanga, bend those elbows back. Move the center of your brain forward towards the big toe. Now know you can have a softness in this back knee and then start to press your right heel down into the floor. Good. Keep suctioning the whole right side of your leg back towards your hip. Take a nice full breath. Stay for the exhale. If you don't need the blocks, you can move them out of the way, find a little more depth. And then on your next inhale, look to your big toe, find a beautiful flat spine. Rebend into right knee, left hand connects down or to a block if you kind of need a extend your arms a little bit, and then reach that right arm up towards the sky. And coming into a twist. Good. Notice if you can spiral the center of your chest towards the ceiling any amount more. The back of your head presses into the space behind you. Keep biting those inner thighs towards the midline and squeezing into that left glute. Take a nice deep breath here. And then as you exhale, keep reaching that right arm all the way behind you. Bending into left knee. If it's there for you, catch a hold of the outside of your foot. Continuing to spiral the chest out to the side. If you need a little more length, you can always grab your strap and do the same thing here. And so you loop it around the top, and it just makes your arms a little bit longer. Good, so finding the version that's best for you. Notice if you're kind of spilling into your hips. Can you pull yourself back towards your midline? And then gently release the back leg. Bring your hands, frame your foot, pop your block over to the side to tuck your back toe, lift the heel, and send yourself back to downward facing dog. Take a full breath here. Stay for the exhale. Magnetize those feet towards each other, inner thigh squeeze, and then slow motion. Inhale, left leg floats up in line with your hip. Flex the toes towards your shin. See if you can lift a little higher without rocking the hips open. Keep them square towards the floor. Keep connecting the pads of your fingers down. Squeeze the left heel towards the tailbone, pointing through the feet. Inhale, rise onto right tippy toes. Exhale, tiger curl. Hug nose to knee. Hug the knee up towards the armpit. Shift forward. And then inhale, fill up with air. Send the leg back behind you. Exhale, tiger curl. Really trying to hover that leg, the thigh bone, the shin bone above the floor before you fill up with air all the way back. This time, step all the way through. So take the leg, firm up the arms, create space for you to step quietly. Take the back knee to the floor. Inhale into your lunge, lifting up through the fingertips. And it's as if I was there in the room with you, grabbing a hold of your wrists and lengthening them up gently towards the sky. Inner thighs hug towards the midline. And again, activating this whole back line of the leg by pressing down. Left thigh bone hugs in, extending up through the fingers. Take another deep breath. And then as you exhale, coming into our half Hanuman, our half split pose, blocks or no blocks, straightening out the front leg, flexing the toes, and finding first beautiful straight arms. And then your exhale will fold you over the shin. Good, so it's not nose towards knee. We're searching here for as much length through both sides of the waist as we can. And breathing expansively into the entire body. Good. And keep softening through the knee so you can press the heel down and engage the left quad, the left VMO up. Nice work. On your next inhale, look towards your big toe. Bend into your left knee, right hand to the floor, left arm spirals and unfurls towards the sky. Good. Again, blocks are there if you want them. Firm that underneath arm down. Notice if you can hug everything a little more towards your center. Good. Pressing through the big toe mound, little toe mound, heel of the front leg. And then as you exhale, left arm reaches back in line with shoulder, bending into the right knee, maybe catching outside edge of your head, outside edge of your foot. Good, keep spiraling the center of your chest all the way up to the sky. You've got it. Nice work. 2 more deep breaths all together. Full breath in. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, gently release. So take the left arm up and over. Tuck the back toe, lift the knee, energize it to the sky, and stepping lightly back, downward facing dog. Option here to flow. You can hang out here or move with me. Ripple forward, belly to ribs to chest, shoulders on top of wrists. Knees or no knees, chaturanga, elbows slice past the ribs. Flicking the toes back, inhale, baby cobra, upward facing dog. And then exhale, chin towards throat, look back between your ankles, downward facing dog. Slow motion, inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale through your tiger curl to step heel toe between the hands. This time keep back knee lifted, crescent lunge, power up the front leg and lift your head on top of shoulders, on top of hips. Now soften the back knee so you can really pick up the frontal hip bones. Nice work. Take an inhale, lengthen out of your fingertips. Now keep lengthening as you exhale, tap the left knee down towards the floor. And then inhale, lift back up. Exhale, tap it down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, tap. Inhale, lift. Now modified pyramid pose, we fold forward over the legs. Now for tighter hamstrings, take your blocks underneath your shoulders. For those who are a little more flexible, you'll take your hands towards the floor. Stay high onto the ball of your left foot. Like our half Hanuman, pull that right thigh bone back in space. Take an inhale, get high onto the fingertips, find a flat back. Front body is buoyant. And then as you exhale, fold down. And 2 more like that. Inhale, picking up belly into heart, into throat, and out of crown of head. And then exhale, a little deeper. Inhale, lift all the way up. Rebend into right knee. Take your block to the outside edge of your right ankle. Spin the left heel down towards the earth. Inhale, sweep yourself up, warrior 2. So we've got our knee in line with our ankle. We're pressing into the back foot, and eye gaze floats over the middle finger. Inhale, flip the front palm up, stretching up towards the sky. Reverse warrior, staying deep into the front leg. As you exhale from the belly, lift back up, warrior 2. Now press into your right big toe mound, straighten out the front leg. Moving into Trikonasana, right thigh bone moves back. Reach forward until you have absolutely nowhere to go. And then take the right hand, spiral around your torso, down towards your block. Click. Press into the block. Spiral the front of the heart up towards the sky. Good, keep pressing down through the feet, engaging up through the arch of your feet as if you were drinking through a straw all the way up towards your hip. Take a nice full breath. As you exhale, here we go. Take your left hand to your hip, bend into right knee, take your block forward, and then pull your weight into your front leg as we lift up for our half moon pose, Ardha Chandrasana. Our toes engaged, they flex strongly. Maybe you can firm the underneath hands beneath you and start to spin the chest up to the sky. And if you fall, if you wobble, it's all good. If it's there for you, float the arm up. Stay connected to your breath, stay connected to the legs, pressing down and reaching away from your midline. Inhale to expand. As you exhale, turn your chest towards the floor, turn your hip towards the floor, standing split. And here's where things get a little bit fun. You're gonna take your block right next to your right foot, bend your left knee, and then stand your left foot on towards your block. From there, peel yourself up, Press into the block and start to lift. Right knee up towards your chest. Good, so a little bit of balance, a little bit of stability today. So this might be where you stay, and that's beautiful. To take it a little deeper, tree pose. Foot will connect to the calf, or foot will connect to the inner groin. Wherever you may be, let the hips soften, so you can really focus on lifting up out of the side waist and gather the ribs in. Press the palms towards each other. And let an inner smile float on the face and into the heart. Take another deep breath. Stay for the exhale. And let the right toe land next to the left. And then start to float the left leg all the way to the back of the mat. Good. Move the block to the side. Step yourself downward facing dog. And then option here to flow. Come forward, high plank. Lowering yourself through chaturanga. Shifting forward and up, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Getting heavy through the right heel. Inhale, left leg lifts up. As you exhale, curl forward, hamstring ignites as you step heel toe. Inhale, crescent lunge, reach arms up. Lengthening the tailbone down, stretching out through the fingers. Exhale, lower the back knee down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale to lower. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. Inhale, lift. Modified pyramid. Stretch forward through the head. Take your hands either side of your foot. Good. Right underneath the shoulders. And 3 unravels here. Inhale, pick up the belly. Find your flat back. And then exhale, pour forward. And 2 more like that. Inhale. Exhale. Last one, inhale, lift, lengthening the crown of the head, bending into left knee, and take the block to the outer edge of your left heel. Spinning the right heel in and down, warrior 2, cartwheel your hands facing towards the right end of your mat. Track the knee over the toe, lengthen the tailbone between your heels, flipping the front palm up, inhale, reverse. Exhale, warrior 2. Straightening that front leg, inhale. Lengthen out through the sideways, stretch forward, stretch forward, stretch forward till you have nowhere left to go. And then left hand, right arm spirals around the torso, connecting onto your block. Firm your arm bones down. Find space evenly through both sides of the waist. Maybe floating the eye gaze up. You're here for 3 deep breaths. And that's it. And please bring your right hand to your hip. Bend your left knee, look forward. Half moon pose. Pull the weight forward. Get light through the back foot. Flex the toes. And try to reach the heel in line with your hip. It's challenging, but give it a go. Look towards your foot. And if you can't see your toes, you might need to move them slightly forward. Good. Keep spiraling the heart up. Activating that top glute, reach your right arm to the sky. Good, and finding length through all of your limbs here. The feet, the hands, the head, the tail. And then as you exhale, rotating head, chest, hip towards the floor. And sliding your block underneath the right foot next to the left as you step onto the block. Press down into the foot and then picking yourself all the way up, hugging the left knee to the chest this time. Good, finding a vertical spine. And either staying here or coming into Vrikshasana, tree pose. Hands come to hat. Again, if you don't have a block, you can absolutely just do this flat on the floor. And finding steadiness and ease. And when you're ready, left inner thigh squeezes in. Start to stretch that left foot all the way to the floor. Right toes reach back. Grab your block, pop it out of the way, and come into downward facing dog. Nice full deep breath here. Stay for the exhale. And then inhale, rise to your tippy toes. Bend your knees, look forward. Walk or step to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. And then press into the feet, root to rise, and reach those arms up overhead. Exhale, thumbs to heart. And standing here on 2 feet. And checking in. Noticing any shifts, any changes in the physical, emotional body. And then turning the toes out to face the top 2 corners of your mat. We're going to start to cast the front of your heart forward, squatting back into the tailbones. We've got 2 opposite directions here, coming into Malasana, our yogi squat. And we're just passing through here for a moment to bring ourselves onto the floor. So if that doesn't feel good, we're going to meet on our back anyway. So gently roll yourself down. Find the feet planting into the floor. And the feet are hip distance apart. Hands reach towards the heels. Take a full breath in. As you exhale, imprint the whole back of your body onto the floor. As you tilt your pelvis up towards the sky, press into the feet and come into your bridge. And so in our bridge pose, we're looking for a ski jump. From the top of the knees, there's this beautiful diagonal line all the way to the armpits and out of the shoulders. And to switch the back line of the legs on a little more, press into the big toe mound, press into the little toe mound, press into the heel mound as you stretch the front of the knees away. Can you lengthen the tip of your pelvis towards the back of your knees as you let the outer head of the shoulders melt towards the floor? And continuing to breathe into the nose and out. And to switch those legs online a little bit more. Start to tug the heels energetically towards your shoulders. The hamstrings will ignite. Really making sure we're pairing flexibility with strength. Good, take another full round of breath. And then as you exhale, as slowly as you can, roll your spine 1 vertebra at a time, all the way back down. And as the tailbone tilts at the very end, allow your knees to come towards your armpits. Give yourself a squeeze. And rock and roll along the spine, getting that gentle massage again. Getting a little bit of momentum. Should feel pretty good. Come all the way up to a seat. And we're coming into a forward fold. So coming into a wide-legged forward fold for a last little bit of opening through the groin. If you're really rounded through the back, sit your tailbone onto a block. If not, use your hands either side of your hips to extend up out of your waist. Take an inhale, lengthen through the spine. And let your exhale breath fold you forward. And rather than rounding, think of a sandwich press closing. Nice long spine. Connecting hands, elbows to the floor. Maybe even resting the entire length of the belly onto the ground. Maybe not. So finding where you need to be and honoring that place in your body. A yoga teacher of mine always says, you have 100 years left to practice yoga. And so you don't have to do it all in 45 minutes. And so letting yourself soften and being with what is there today. And can you let go of any gripping, any holding? And if your head is facing one direction, change it the other. And you're welcome to stay here as long as you need. Feel free to press pause or press your hands underneath your shoulders. Reverse sandwich press. Lift the center of the chest forward and up out of the crown of the head. Stretch the fingers to the sky, really feeling into the length of the body. And then as you exhale, hands come down, stretching both legs out ahead of you. And meeting on the spine with the knees towards the chest one last time. Bringing the feet wider than the mat. Let the knees knock in towards each other, creating a little tent shape. And the arms come to cactus out by the side. And we spread into the sacrum. And feel the heaviness of the hips into the floor. And as if there was a sandbag resting in the center of your sternum. And then let both knees fall over to the left. And keep the feet as wide as the mat. And then notice if you can press the inner right heel down, squeezing lightly into the glute as you stretch the front of the quad. Nice gentle twist. And then legs through center. Changing over the other way, letting the knees fall over to the right. Grounding the left inner heel down. Trying to print the left knee down as you hug the left side waist back towards the mat. And breathing deeply into the circumference of the ribs, so letting them flare out and open to the side. And then belly to spine, knees to center. And then making your way into Shavasana, or corpse pose. Legs are long, in line with hips. Reach the hands by your waist. Palms face up to the sky. And like we did at the very beginning of class, flex your toes really actively, squeezing the quads, engaging all of the legs. And then as you exhale, let them soften and relax. And give yourself the conscious permission to rest. There's nothing left to do but be. If you have the luxury of time, please feel free to stay here as long as you need. And if you're ready to return to the physical realm, start to awaken the fingers and the toes. And perhaps reaching the arms overhead, a full body yawn, a full body stretch. And then pour your weight onto one side into a ball. Letting the head be truly heavy before you press into the top arm and lift yourself to a final and comfortable seat. And letting the hands rest on the lap, palms face up to the sky. And we'll finish today with 6 audible exhales. And so a full sweeping breath into the nose. Open the mouth. And 5 more like that because it feels so good. Last one. Letting there be a little inner glow or an inner smile across the chest and in the face. Meeting the left hand to the right hand at the center of heart. And bowing our heads down together with gratitude for the practice of yoga and also to yourself for turning up, doing the work. Namaste. Thank you for practicing. I hope you have some happy hamstrings. I'll see you soon.